how to awaken your masculine superpowers. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because as men, right, recently we have been taken so far away from our powers that the majority of us are getting depressed. Male suicide is through the roof. We are seeing that people are going into jail. It's just a terrible situation for us men. And the only reason why this is happening is because we have not awoken our superpowers. Now, the best thing about this is that as a man, it's quite simple to unlock your masculine superpowers. So let's get into it. So, first, let's talk about how we actually access superpowers in general as human beings. Now, these superpowers are things that are actually natural to us, whether it's clairaudience, clairvoyance, being able to see and understand spiritual principles. These are things that is a part of the natural human experience. But because we have left spirituality behind as a society, some of the things that are inherent to our nature have been deemed as superpowers. So, how do we access them? It's quite simple. Our bodies are able to receive a lot of light and signals. Now, when I'm talking about light, I'm not just talking about light that you can see with your eye. I'm talking about the entire electromagnetic spectrum. As we raise our level of consciousness or the amount of light that the body can hold, we naturally start to pick up things from higher levels. Now, why is this simple to do as a man? The reason why it's easy to do as a man is because we actually have a physical representation of light that is created in our body, and this is our seeds, right? So, as we learn how to cultivate, right, and draw up this light within us, it naturally purges us and helps us to access the higher parts of ourselves. Now, at this point, I want to talk about something that I've seen has been misconstrued when a lot of people are talking about semen retention. Yes, you can use it to make more money. Yes, you could use it to attract more women to you. Women will naturally be attracted to you when you're on this journey, but that is not your purpose. If you stop off there and you're like, okay, I just want women attraction and money, I'm telling you that you are missing out on powers that are within you that are infinitely more valuable than money and women. Now, how do I know this to be true? A, out of my own experience, but B, when we look at what we've seen with real men, men that we really admire, right? It's not the money that we admire about them. Even when we're watching movies, the men that we really like and respect in movies, the heroes, 9 out of 10 times, they don't actually have money. And a lot of the heroes that do have money don't actually have powers, right? But what they do have is a higher intellect, right? Which is telling us something. It's saying that they used their intellect to gain money, but then they had to use external things because they didn't use that chi to create their superpowers. right? Because the heroes that we really like, they typically have like normal jobs. Even think out Superman, or I don't know if you guys have watched like Equalizer, right? Again, Denzel Washington, great movie, but he was resourceful. He didn't have resources, because holding and nurturing resources is a feminine trait. It's not a masculine trait. As a man, your aim is to be resourceful, not to hold resources. So, let's look at how this works on the semen retention journey. So, if you start the semen retention journey, the first thing that typically will wake up within you, especially if you are addicted to things like porn and ejaculation, is going to be frustration and anger. You could even feel maybe potentially pain in your lower back. What this is doing is the fire, right, from the light that is within us is starting the purification journey. It's showing us how to firstly tap back into your emotions. And I know as men, we're like, oh no, emotions. I want to make sure that I'm not experiencing them. But that is the core part to our ascension. Because as a man, your sexual energy is actually feminine, right? So if you look at the yin and yang symbol, right, there is all black, but there's this white circle dot in it. This is representation of the fact that there is both masculine and feminine energy in both of our bodies, whether you're a man or a woman. But as a man, your sexual center is feminine. Okay, this is why we are meant to nurture our seeds. It actually takes 90 days for a sperm cell to mature, right? And so we're letting it go once a week, once a month, right? The majority of the cells don't even get to that point of maturity. So, getting back to the emotional intelligence, as we learn what is truly frustrating us, what's truly making us angry, not just the lack of sex, but what we have been using the sex to cover, right? We will then learn things that our higher self wants us to do. Now, the first ones are going to be very basic. It could be how you work out, how you make your money, the sort of relationships that you have, and things like that. Eventually, it will go up each of the chakra centers from the root all the way up to the third eye. Now, there are techniques that you could use to help draw up this energy as well, right? But we'll talk about that at another time. But as each of these centers awaken different emotions in you, and then you learn what you need to do with these emotions that you've been awoken to, right? You will start to receive more light after you have learnt what you need to do with the emotion. So, for example, for me, working out every day was something that was important to me, because I have a lot of energy when I was not spilling my seed. And so I thought, okay, how do I use all of this energy? Writing isn't enough. It was still, I was doing so many things. It's like, okay, be active. As a child, I used to be active. So let me go out and make sure that every day I'm doing at least a walk, I'm working out, I'm stretching, I'm dancing, other things like that. As I done that, then it was like, okay, I need more creative expression. So I started to write and other things like that. And then as it got up to my solar plexus, right, and there is even more emotions that I'm being awoken to, it's all right, what is my higher purpose? What is it that I want in the world to make sure that I am acting upon my will? Now, each of these centers, as I've got used to drawing the energy up, I've started to get higher and higher messages. Sometimes it's a clear voice telling me what it is that I should be doing. Now, I am not saying that I always listen to that voice, because again, it's a journey of becoming a man and holding more masculine energy. But now I'm at a stage where I can write a question down before I go to bed. I can, more likely, sometimes I have a dream on it, or I can wake up in the morning and know exactly what it is that I need to do. Now, this has got me to a stage where I know I can manifest quicker if I learn how to act quicker. So it's a stage of quickness of acting on what I know will work. It also helps me with my level of perception, not just of the physical things, but of spiritual things as well, becoming sensitive and attuned to the energies that not are just around me, but the spiritual energies of the planet as well, which has allowed me to operate in ways that fits me into what is happening at this moment, rather than me having to try and fight and push through. Because again, as a man, your superpower is to be able to create and physically manipulate the universe around you. And when I say manipulate, this is not manipulating people. This is manipulating your environment, first your internal environment, and then because of that locus of control that you develop, you're then able to change the outside world around you, where people that you need will come to you, the things that you need will also come to you as well. Now, I'm not sure if you guys could see that, but on my screen there was this bubble thumbs up that came up. But yeah, that's all I'm going to be talking about today. Awakening your superpower starts with developing spiritual discipline, because without discipline, you are not an adult. You are still a child, because children look for external things to provide their needs, whereas an adult is able to provide everything they need for themselves. So if you want to get any help or any support with that, any one-on-one coaching, guys, book your session with me down below. You get a free consultation to see whether or not I can help. And if so, again, we can make sure that if you want to drop a porn habit, learn how to have non-ejaculatory orgasms and other things like that, we can help you through the process. Last but not least, guys, always remember that you are perfect by design, and I'll see you again soon.